Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to tune into the video. Always appreciate that. And guys, today I've been thinking about it, and I think I'm going to restructure Advanced Bass Fishing a little bit and sort of move beyond. In the past, we've done like one video a week, and they've been a long video, but I got thinking about it, and when I'm talking about advanced bass fishing concepts, and that's what this channel is about, I feel like I need to have more videos of shorter length in there, because some of the topics that you talk about, they're not, there's not an hour worth of conversation or 45 minutes, but they are still advanced bass fishing tips that everybody needs to know of. So I think I'm going to start mixing up, and I'm going to start putting out more videos that are shorter with more precise information on advanced theories, and also, keep doing occasionally the longer, format videos as well. But I just think it might be a little bit more informative to you guys if we lay some stuff out. So anyways, guys, today we're going to be talking about, I want to talk about the mental aspect of approaching a day on the water. Now, in this series, or from now on, we're going to be mixing it up into, the mental part of it, bass movement, seasonal behavior, all that type of stuff, lures. But in today's video, I really want to address how you can get in the right frame of mind that has a big impact on your fishing success by the end of the day. So we're going to get into that. Also, guys, just a couple quick housekeeping tips you guys love to hear before we get started these videos. I just want to invite everybody, that if you haven't had a chance, to please use and bookmark my tackle warehouse link in the description of this video for your fishing tackle needs. And I appreciate all you guys that have been doing that already. If you guys like advanced bass fishing and you're getting something out of it, if you have to purchase your tackle, just, might as well do it through that link if you want to give something back to the channel, because every time you buy something, the channel gets a little percentage of a commission on a sale. So that's a really good way to support the channel by using that link. So I'll put that in the description. Really appreciate it. Okay, guys, bass fishing, regardless if you want to admit it or not, once you get up into the more advanced, higher levels, so much of it is a matter of your attitude, because attitude and your confidence or your lack of confidence, it directly affects your fishing success. And I don't quite understand it. I've analyzed it, and I've talked to other pros about it. I've talked to a lot of marquee top level pros about it. And there's a reality behind that that you can't really define, nevertheless is present. So what I want to talk about is, I want to talk about when you get to the lake in the morning, about getting in the right frame of mind and staying in that right frame of mind throughout the course of the day, regardless of how the day is unfolding. Because one of the things you have to realize is that every single day on the water is not going to be a great day on the water. That's the nature of fishing. You're going to have off days. You're going to have days that you just don't feel like you can get a bite. Good days, you're going to have a little bit of everything in between that. But if you start adopting or adapting or start using some of these things that I'm getting ready to talk about, you're going to find that your success rate, or the success rate at some level, is going to start increasing for you incrementally. You're going to have fewer tough days. The tough days are still going to be there occasionally, don't get me wrong. There's no magic pill for everything, but you're going to start noticing a consistent uptick in the number of fish you catch consistently every single day on the water. The first thing that you have to do is you have to accept the conditions mentally as they are. Now, let's say, for example, say if you guys go on the water lesson with me in January, and we get out there and it's 25 degrees and it's wind's blowing a little bit, it's cold, it's uncomfortable, you're not in the best frame of mind. One of the things you have to tell yourself on that is that don't give the cold too much energy. Yeah, it's cold. That's okay, because we're still going to get out here. The lake's not frozen over. It is what it is. And tell yourself, start building it up how this could be an advantage. You can say to yourself, okay, it's cold, but that's going to be a good thing, because that cold weather is going to keep a lot of anglers off the water. That means we're probably not going to have near the fishing pressure on the lake. The fish aren't going to be conditioned to the noise of the outboard motors and the trolling motors, and therefore the fish are probably going to be a little bit more active. That is one good way of looking at it. It's the same with any weather condition. It's the same if it's raining out. If it's raining, it's the same thing. It's like, it's cold, it's rainy out there. People say, God, I don't want to go fishing because it's all cold and rainy. That's one way to look at it. Or you can look at it, it's like, yeah, it's cold and rainy, but those low light conditions are really going to activate the fish, and they're going to be all over power lures. We're going to be catching them on a spinnerbait and a crankbait. Those fish are going to be really active. You have to take any scenario that you have, and you have that ability. Nobody tells you how that you should or shouldn't think about something, but always try to turn it into something positive as far as the potential outcome. That immediately, there's a shift that takes place internally within inside of you, and it just puts you in a much better frame of mind to get out there on the water. Now, the next thing, once you've sort of accepted the conditions as they are, it could be, the lake could be low, it could be flooded, it could be dirty, it could be clear, whatever. Let's say that you get out there and you fish for 3 or 4 hours and you're not catching anything. The natural inclination is, like, as time goes by and the hours go by on the water, you lose confidence. You're becoming less and less confident. You start second guessing everything that you're doing. You start making excuses, and you say, oh man, it's just the fish just aren't biting today. Something's messed up here. It's just an off day on the water. You have to tell yourself on those particular days, the fish never stop biting. They're biting, I don't care, 365 days a year, those fish are biting. They're active. They want to eat. The fish are not inactive ever. You just have to tell yourself, if you've went 3 or 4 hours without a bite, say, okay, I went 3 or 4 hours with a bite. Now let's evaluate this. It's like, I've done X, Y, and Z and it's not working. Let's make some type of a move. It's like every single minute and every single hour that goes by when you're not catching a fish, that means you're getting closer and closer and closer to catching one. Every single minute that goes by that you're not catching one, you're getting closer. So remind yourself over and over to do that. And in order to do that, you have to make adjustments on the water. Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over again. If you're not catching them, make a bait change, make a color change, make a retrieve change. That's not working, make an area change. If you've been fishing main lake points, move back into the creeks and start fishing secondary points. If you've been fishing halfway back in the coves and not catching them, go to the very back end of the coves and catch them. If you've been fishing boat docks and fishing the front part of the boat docks and not catching them, move to the back part of the dock. You have to constantly keep hunting and looking, because traditional bass fishing, when you're not, and what I'm talking about here, guys, I'm not talking about having your eyes glued to a Nintendo screen on your forward-facing sonar, because that's a fake fishing environment. I'm talking about real bass fishing here, which is pattern fishing and problem solving and developing patterns. But every single thing that you try that's not working, don't give up. Keep trying, keep making adjustments, and eventually, after you make enough adjustments, you're going to start catching some fish. Because I know when I go fishing, guys, you can put me on any lake in the country that has bass in it, and I'm going to find those bass. It may take me, I may find them in 10 minutes, or it may take me 4 or 5 days. But eventually, I'm going to find them, because I'm going to eliminate stuff and narrow water down, and I'm going to get dialed into things that aren't working, and eventually I'm going to hit upon something that's starting to catch the fish. So just always, reference to that in that manner. You always have to never focus on the problem at hand. I don't care if it's the weather condition or water condition or the fact that fish aren't biting or if you're losing fish. You always have to focus on the solution constantly, and it's a discipline. What I'm talking about here is bass fishing at a high level. It's what separates the elite anglers. I'm not referring to Bassmaster elite anglers, because there's a lot of anglers that fish the Bassmaster elite circuit that are not elite in my opinion, but the elite anglers that are just on the next level as far as terms of consistently catching fish. They all have that in common with it. So anyway, guys, just a few quick advanced fishing tips here. Your attitude's everything. Nobody's in charge of your attitude except yourself. And I can tell you guys, if you just discipline yourself to always think that next fish is around the corner and twist everything around into a positive, maybe you don't believe it, but the more that you do it and the more you condition yourself to constantly do it, you're going to start making and seeing some changes there. So anyway, hope it helps out. We'll talk later, guys.